Hello, welcome. My name is James Brown with the Society for American Soccer History. I wanted to welcome you to this very special session. Today, I'm here with my father, George Brown, of the ASL All-Stars in 1957, and also Ben Zinn of the Hapoel Tel Aviv, a team that toured in the United States. And he is also the son-in-law of Erno Schwarcz, the fantastic
ex-son-in-law.
Well, yes. Erno Schwarcz was quite an iconic figure in U.S. soccer history, and it was very important. You know, coming over as the Hakoah Vienna touring, and then all of the players who decided to stay. And then Hakoah wins the championship in 1929. You know, it's just amazing. And he loved the sport so much that he was always promoting tours, always getting teams to come over. And that was very important because Erno was very, very entwined with getting the league back into play after the breakdown in between 1932-33, and then coming back in 33 to start the second iteration of the league. And so that was very important. And I just, I want to thank everybody for being here. Ed, it's very great. We've had some really nice conversations, and that was essential to get everybody on board. So I just want to thank you all for being here. So, Ben, do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about when you came over? Or maybe the state of the Tel Aviv team as they were in Israel, how they were playing, and what made them come over to the U.S. to play, and the impressions while you were there during that tour.
Okay, it was really Hapoel Tel Aviv reinforced with some all-stars from Israel. So we'll have a stronger team to come to America. I'm not sure what was the main motivation for coming to America, but I think it had something to do with Jewish organizations who wanted to get a large Jewish crowd into Ebbets Field for the game. I'm not sure about those details. I was the youngest player on the team. So when I
wait a minute, you were the youngest player?
I was the in 57 on our team.
Okay, were you the youngest player on the team that played on Ebbets Field that day?
Yeah.
Boy, you were very big for your age, because I remember so well bumping into you several times and ending up on the ground.
I wish I remembered it.
I'm confident I have a photograph of you. I'm not sure what you were doing, but I was on the ground and you were leaping over me. So
if you can share this photograph with me, I would love it.
I will.
No photographs of the game.
Nothing.
I have the ceremony before the game with Marilyn Monroe, but no action pictures from the game.
Now, Jim, you have a lot of stuff, don't you?
I have some images, and let me share them.
By the way, Jim, you also said that you sent me a Hakoah folder. I didn't get any with photos.
Okay, well, that's I will forward that to you.
Okay.
Ed,
Yes.
have you seen the lineup, not of the players, but of the dignitaries at that game? I want to tell you, it is really impressive. And not just because Marilyn Monroe was there, although that, that was interesting, but it had people who really and truly were my heroes, like Abba Eban,
Yeah.
who I remember sitting in a car and listening to him make the case for Israel to the UN. And of course, his speaking voice was beautiful. I mean, he was a master at the English language, and he had a beautiful speaking voice. So Jim just put up the list of people that are there, but people like Abba Eban, there are some celebrities, but they had Robert Wagner was there. I guess he was the current mayor. It's a pretty impressive lineup.
So here was the probable lineup of Tel Aviv.
Well,
Can you see your face there?
I can only
Ben?
see yours now. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, I see the lineup now. Yeah, I can see.
Yeah, this
And-
was a probable lineup.
Okay, I can see it and I recognize it. And in fact, the guy who is on the upper left corner, I spoke to him about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, the one that you point, Rehavian Rosenboim. I spoke to him about 2 weeks ago. And
Wow.
I think I'm the third one from the right on the bottom.
Yeah, that's you, Dad.
And I think most of the players who played in that game are no longer alive.
Oh dear.
And this was the man who was
That's Hodorov. He was the world-renowned goalie.
yeah, and he was accompanying Marilyn for the kick.
And,
Yes.
and Arthur Miller was running around the convertible, making sure that nobody would get too close to her.
I'm sure. Here's I don't have a
Okay, if
team
you,
photo of Hapoel, but this is the U.S. team.
yeah, I have a question about this picture. If you can stay a minute, I recognize your father who is the third one on the top line from the left, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, and I recognize you. If we move 2 spots to the right, I don't know, he was the striker and he played with me after I came to America. He was a big, we called him center forward in those days.
Yes.
And the one next to him played with me in Israel before I came to this game, Josh Silberstein.
Him?
He's the fourth one from the right. The coach was Kurt Lamb.
Yes.
And he later on coached. See, I came to the game, I was still in the army. And I went back to Israel, I got discharged from the army, and I decided to come to America to go to school. I went to NYU. And I played for Hakoah, New York. And this guy was our coach, Kurt Lamb. And he had no clue about soccer.
I was reluctant to say that, but I agree.
Yeah, and in fact, I told him so, which was foolish. And he was also very influential with the U.S. national team. And I played a year later for the national team, U.S. And he had the same. They went on to the Caribbean in the winter time, around Christmas time, and I was trying to get away from the cold weather. And because I told him what I told him, I was removed from the team. And they said, the guy, do you know who the two guys standing on the right side, players? One was Grabowski, I think.
Gene.
Yeah, and I communicated with him in the States for years, and he moved to Atlanta, but we never got together. And I think the guy on the right was a fellow who played with me in New York, Hakoah. He was a Dutch guy.
Wait a minute, Jim. Can
you,
that's
the one. What's his name?
Can you slide the picture over so that we can see all the players?
I can see them.
Mine is cut off at Gene Grabowski.
Well, can you move move the list of pictures? See if you can just go to the top of it with your cursor and just slide it over a bit. You should be able to move it like that.
So some of those players who played against Hapoel Tel Aviv in this game played for New York Hakoah, which was a Jewish club, although the players were not all Jewish. And I'm recognizing them on the All-Star team. And Grabowski was also a striker, and he was also one of the youngest players there.
Yes,
And the big guy was a defensive guy. He played defense. I played left fullback.
And who was the guy that you said was the big guy that played defense?
The guy next to Kurt Lamb.
That's a shame, Jim. I can't. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I wonder if I can get. Okay. Yeah, it's hard to tell. I can see the whole team on the left with the small picture, Jim.
Well, hold on. Can you see it now?
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
That's good. Yeah. And no, Ben, was Erno Schwarcz? Was he your father-in-law?
Yeah, he was my father-in-law, and he was the grandfather of Ed, who is also involved in the conversation. My son.
Okay.
But Jim, you wanted to get information. I was very close to him. He was a very nice man, and he was fully involved with soccer. But when I was on the team, I think he owned the team, but he never coached. He was sort of a manager type. He was a very nice, kind person. I liked him a lot.
He did everything. He would sell the tickets.
Right.
Then he'd run down to the concession stand and he'd make French fries and and the worst coffee you've ever tasted.
Well, he was cheap. He was doing everything on a shoestring.
Oh yes, yes. I recall, Ben. I don't know whether I was the most valuable player or the top goal scorer or something, and he presented me with the trophy, and what we were leaving the field, and Ed, you can't imagine the condition of the fields in those days.
I remember the field. We played on like a parking lot in the Bronx.
Yes. Well, they played on 2 or 3 different fields, but he said, Georgie, Georgie, come with me. And we went out to his car, and he opened the trunk. That's from the game. Yes, he opened the trunk and handed me a small trophy that was wrapped up in newspaper. And he gave it to me, and he said, you should probably have your name inscribed on this.
Ed,
Yes.
you can probably tell them a story about buying dented cans.
Oh yeah. When they lived in the Bronx and we would go visit when we were very young kids, I mean, there was that, you know, we used to, one thing I do remember about Grandpa is he loved to go walk on the beach, and he loved to find coins, and we would walk with him. And then there was this big pickle jar that had pickle juice in their kitchen, and we would throw the coins in afterwards, and you know, that was money. You know, that was what they would use to buy stuff with. So they were notoriously the cheapest of the cheap.
Very full.
But you know, Erno was really dedicated. I mean, oh, now, Ben, who is that?
That's Schlanger, that's not me.
That's one of.
And he was the right fullback, and I was the left one. He was a Hungarian originally.
Ah. I recall some encounters with him. Let's see, I was outside right. Did you say he was the left fullback?
No, he left fullback. He should have covered you.
Yes.
But I played left fullback. Or maybe I played right fullback. I don't remember now. Mostly for the US national team and All-Star teams, I played left fullback. But maybe on that game, I played right fullback, and he played left. I think his name was Schlanger, but I'm not sure.
I just remember they all seem to be huge. Here's one of the. Here's one of my encounters.
Yeah, I can see he was. Yeah, that's not me.
Mm-hmm.
It was not you.
No.
Ah, good.
Yeah. He was a good 10 years older than me. But I also remember, maybe I shouldn't say it now, I shared a room with him in the hotel in New York, and I also had family in New York. And he was encouraging me to stay with my family. I was much younger than him, so he can have some lady company in the room.
Yeah. No, Ben, I must ask you a question. I have the advantage of having read the New York Times report of the game, right? And it was clear. And this is the report, and it would be difficult for you to read it, but
I can see, yeah.
You had 5 goals in the first half. The score, I believe, was 5-1 at halftime, and then we scored a few more goals, so we ended up losing 6-4.
I can see that, yeah.
but in the first half, you had, let's see, you had 5 goals in the first 31 minutes. And then we started to score a few goals, but I had the impression that your team might have taken their feet off of the pedal.
Oh, clearly, yeah. I don't remember I don't remember the details of the game.
I had forgotten them also until Jim showed me this New York Times report.
Yeah. No, I never saw this report.
No, I had never seen it either.
No, it was a really great match. Did either of you have particular memories, something that really stood out during that match, whether it was beforehand, during, or maybe the after match? Maybe because as there were celebrations and it was this promotion of international relations. What kind of events did you attend, or what kind of impressions did you have?
In fact, after the game, they took the team of a tour of the US. And because I had family in New York and I preferred to stay with them, I didn't join the team on many of the trips. But we went to Washington, D.C., and I think Nixon was the president then, or vice president. And I think they arranged a meeting for the team with Nixon. Not thinking back, it was not a big honor, but I remember we all went to meet Nixon in Washington, D.C. Yeah. And I clearly remember the opening kick of the game with Marilyn Monroe, which made an international splash at the time.
Now, Ben, do you, my best recollection of the kickoff was she had this very tight dress.
Yeah.
Very tight. And the New York photographers were very aggressive. And she was standing with the ball at her feet, and they were laying on the ground in front of her with their cameras angled up. And she did the ceremonial kickoff. And she was so proper. She walked up and she tapped the ball forward. And one of the New York photographers looked up at her from the ground and said, "Hey, Marilyn, give us a break." And she went back and took the ball. And the second time she kicked off, she gave it a full swing, well up in the air with her legs. And you could hear the cameras go as they all got the shot they wanted.
No, I remember that she kicked more than once, but that's all I remember.
Yes, I remember why.
No, I was too naive then to understand why. I was pretty nervous. I was 20 years old. It was my first, in fact, my first trip overseas.
Wait a minute. How old were you? 20?
20.
Oh gosh, you were. Now,
yeah.
Jim, what was the date of that game?
May 13th, 1957.
57. So I was 22. Yes, okay. I was just trying to figure it out.
You're still 2 years older than me. You look pretty good.
Hold on just a second. I need to take a call real quick. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, we can continue. Ed, I love your cat. I shut mine out. I
Yes.
shut mine out of the room. He's angry at me.
It's really my daughter's cat, but she's still sleeping in late today, so they decided to come out and join us.
Yeah.
Do you see
Dad, I don't know if Jim has the pictures. Dad has pictures in his hallway of this game with Marilyn. I haven't looked through the file that Jim, posted. Have you seen these pictures?
I'm not sure. Jim, describe them to Jim, Ed.
Okay, when he gets back on.
He's
yeah,
back.
Yeah. Yeah. What pictures are you describing?
I have pictures of these. The picture that you sent me, I have another iPad open on my table now, and I can see the American team before the game. I have the corresponding team of the Israeli team before the game, and I have it on the wall with Marilyn Monroe. And also I Googled the game, and I found some videos with Marilyn in the game, and they're very short, but I found videos and with me and our goalie Chodorov, who also was trying to get as close as possible to her, and they interesting videos, yeah. And I was like the second online. Can you hold on? I have to take a call. Can I call you later? Huh? I'm in the middle of a.
So Dad, you're third in the line. So
Yes.
you must have been pretty much even with him in the line.
Even with who?
I'm back. I'm sorry.
With Ben.
Oh, possibly.
You see,
You must have that photograph, right, Jim?
I don't have the photograph. This footage.
If you Google Marilyn and soccer, something like this, 2 or 3 short videos came up.
Yeah.
From the game, and in one of them, I appear walking into the stadium with Marilyn. I think was in the center, and we are walking on the Israeli team walking on her side, and I think the U.S. team was walking on the other side, and I think she was sitting in the back of a convertible.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I have. Let's see. I think I was about 2 or 3 from Marilyn Monroe, right, Jim?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like in third in line.
Okay. Well, we were even.
Yeah, because the goalie was first. Then there was another guy, Amatzia Lefkovich, who played for us, and he died about 3 months ago.
Oh,
and he
dear.
was second, and I was behind him. Jim, can you see the picture of the American All-Stars that you sent us?
The team picture.
Picture you put up before. The photo of the American team. Yeah. Do you know the names of? I'm trying to recall the names of the players. So the guy standing, 1, 2, the 4th player on the left.
Oh, the big tall one. That was Pepe.
Huh?
His name was Pepe. He played for Newark Portuguese. His name was Pepe.
I don't think it was Latino. The one. No, I think he was European. Okay, the first guy next to Kurt Lamb, I think he was Dutch, if I remember correctly.
I'm not sure, but
Okay.
I think that
Okay.
was Otto Decker.
Maybe. Maybe Decker was a center forward. No, he does
No.
not look Latino.
Lloyd Munson.
Munson.
1, 2,
Lloyd
3.
Munson. This is what I was trying to remember. Lloyd Munson. And he was a very good striker.
It was very, very hard to move off the ball.
Lloyd Munson. No. And next to him is an Israeli, was a friend of mine, Josh Silberstein. Next to Lloyd Munson. And then
to the right or left?
On his left. The one with his hands folded over, both play. One on his, if you look at the photo, the one on his right is just
okay.
And he was from Israel and he came to America a year ahead of me. And next to him is Grabowski. He was also a striker. He was also very young. And next to him, I think he was Dutch player, but I don't remember his name. And I played with all of them after I came to America.
For Hakoah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So
there were some very, very good players there.
Yes.
For instance, in the photograph, the back row, the second one from the left, that was Terry Springthorpe. Do you recall him? He was a pro from England.
Where is he standing?
He is, I'm the third. Oh, that's it. The arrow is on him now. And he's standing right next to me.
On which side when I look at the photo?
When you look at the photo, he's on my left.
What?
On your left, okay, I don't recognize him. Next to Lloyd Munson.
No. The man on the very left in the back row is Pepe. And then the next player is Terry Springthorpe.
Okay, I don't remember. Do you know that I played, after I came to America, with a guy from England named Doug Farquhar. And when I played for the United States, the two players came from New York. Again, we played against England in Los Angeles. And it was me and the guy Farquhar, but he is not in this picture. But he played with me in New York for the Hakoah team.
Now, I have one very important question to ask you. How did you qualify to play for the US?
I have no idea. I have no idea. I got a call. I got a call one day, and they said, you know, you've been selected to play against England. And I flew to Los Angeles, and in fact, we never practiced even once. And I think we were introduced in halftime. It was a joke.
Ben, I was selected to play against Mexico, and in Mexico, we flew down on Friday night. On Saturday, they took us out at the middle of the day when the sun was the hottest, and we did physical jerks, you know, jumping up and down and running in place. And we did that for about an hour. We had 2 soccer balls, 2. I never got a chance to kick the ball. and we were just, they were just kicking it around. There was no practice.
Yeah.
I never got a chance to kick the ball. I kept waiting and it wouldn't come to me. So we went out on the Saturday night, went to a couple of nightclubs. We played on the Sunday.
Come on.
And I don't believe I kicked the ball. It was a joke.
Yeah. No, I had similar experiences.
U.S. soccer.
Yeah.
Do you want to see everybody?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to do.
No, James is controlling it.
Oh, okay.
Your camera's changed.
My camera?
Yeah, now it's looking away from you. It's opposite you. Okay.
You're back.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Now, Ben, this you need to know, that to this day, I have not been introduced to at least 4 of the team that I played with in Mexico, against Mexico. I never even shook their hand. And I think I kicked the ball perhaps twice in the entire game. It was that bad.
But I remember also that we played England in Los Angeles. And before the game started, they gave us some small pills to take. And I remember I was really hyper in the first half. And the first half in fact, we scored the first goal against England, and it was 1-1 in halftime. And it was 8-1 at the end of the game, not for us. But we thought that we ran out of steam. I could hardly walk, and I don't know if it was the pill that was given to me before the game. It was the only time in my life I took a pill before, competing. Yeah. No, it was a joke.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it was sad.
And I also remember this was after this game that they took the team and we traveled in the US and were playing against a local team. Some local teams, and I played for the US again against West Berlin in Chicago. And I have a picture of this, and I don't remember what year it was. US against West Berlin.
Okay.
And the game was in Soldier Field in Chicago, or maybe not Soldier Field, I don't remember. Jim, maybe you can find this history.
I will definitely take a look at that.
US play, and I think we lost 3-1 to West. It was an all-star team of West Berlin.
Dad, I remember, I think it was Tim Lewin sent you the link to the video highlight of the game. I don't know if you guys have seen this. There's highlights of this game, the game against England with announcers.
Yeah,
okay.
We found 50. One of my PhD students did a search, and it took him about a year. And he found from maybe the BBC, he convinced, they had 15 minutes of this game. And they sent him the tape, and he gave it to me as a gift. He worked about a year to find it.
Wow, that's really great.
Yeah,
I would love to see that.
Ed, do you have
I'll try to find it. I remember watching it about a year ago, and it was pretty amazing. It's announcers, everything. The U.S. goes up, and then
and we played on a baseball field.
Right. What year was that?
England was, I think, 59. The England game. I think 1959. Around mid-year sometime. US England 8-1. There's only one game. And I remember I was playing, I was left fullback, and the British right winger was probably the size of your father. And I hated playing against small guys because they used to run circles around me. And I was slow, but I was smart. So I had to know how to play, but I hated quick players. And this guy was really quick. But England came for the game, they came from a very successful South American tour. And they stopped in America to play against us. So Billy Wright was a famous player. And there was a famous forward, inside left, inside, what's his name?
It wasn't Stanley Matthews, was it?
No, Stanley Matthews was not on this team. No, I didn't play against Stanley Matthews. He played to age 50, I think.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, he was a legendary player.
Well, and he was the one that was left on the bench in that 1950 game against the U.S. Because they said, "Oh, well, we don't need him. We'll rest him up for the later matches." So the 1950 team was able to hold off.
The game, I think it was 59 against England.
Oh yeah, I'm just talking about another memory in 1950 in the Brazil World Cup.
Game, the US won 1-0.
Yes,
that's
exactly.
A famous game.
Yeah.
I was talking with Walter Barr, who was the sensible captain of that team on that day when they beat England, and he said they had a center half. Jim, who was the center half? He used to wear gloves. He used to wear one glove. He was a butcher.
Oh.
And
I can't remember.
Anyway, Walter told me that this English player broke through. He was all alone going in on the goalie, and the U.S. center half chased him and tackled him, American football tackle, and brought him down, and the referee actually, he called a foul. It was about 7 yards inside the penalty area, but it ended up about 3 yards outside the penalty area. And Walter said the referee, I believe he was Italian, he said to our center half, he said, that's a good. That's good. And everything was loaded against the English team that day, even the referee.
Yeah. Anyhow, I need to go. I need to go soon. So, is there?
Well, no. This is wonderful. This is exactly what I was looking for. I just to have a great open conversation.
Okay. If I could get from you this folder with photos that you spoke about, I would really be appreciative.
I'll forward that to you. Don't worry about it. And there are a lot of clippings. There are a lot of old photos of Erno.
Yeah, I've got it too, Dad. And I forwarded it once, but I'll forward it again.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah, I sent it to you, but maybe you didn't receive it or something. But I'll send it again.
Yeah, I looked for it. I couldn't find it.
It would be really great to see the pictures that you have, Ben, on your wall.
Oh,
because they might be pictures that
show them.
Huh?
You walk over and show them. I don't know. Are you on your computer or phone?
Hold on a second. My
Let's go
wife.
in the hallway.
Okay, we're taking the iPad to show you the photos.
that'd be great.
And Dad may have other stuff as well if he wanted to, take some time and look through.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I
Oh,
want
the,
this.
yeah, no, the glare on there.
Oh, you want those two?
Yeah, I know, but this is a fun one though, that his
Yeah,
kids.
that's
in
really
large.
Lee.
So
I don't know if you-
explain that photo.
Ed,
This is a photo that was on the front cover of a sports magazine in Israel. It was a championship game and I was trying to save a goal. And I could not save it. And you see the ball at the lower left of the picture. And I couldn't save the goal. We lost 1-0. We played against, this was Hapoel Tel Aviv playing Hapoel Haifa. And you see my hands with the frustration. And the picture won prizes for the action, for the emotions. And my kids, Ed is in the photo, took this photo and enlarged it and framed it and gave it to me.
move back.
That's very nice.
Okay.
This is the US team in
Let me
Chicago.
see if the light helps.
Okay.
That's a
We
US
have that shot, Jim.
Yeah, my dad is there on that team on the right-hand side, all the way to the right.
That's your dad?
Yep.
No. That's a guy named Hussein. I think he was a striker.
No, Jim.
No?
That's no. I actually know who that is. That's a
Okay, it looks like, I mean, you have your hands behind your back always, and it looks, okay, it looks like you.
He's
Every-
bigger than
he's
you.
actually a Ukrainian, and he passed away. He was a wonderful player.
Yeah, he was he was a striker, center forward. And this is the guy Farquhar that I told you about. He played in England, then played with me for on the US. This is me. This is me, and this is the goalie was called, I think, Otobani, and I think he was
Yes.
from San Francisco. And this is the Jim. That's the team that you asked me about. This is the Israeli team before the game with Marilyn Monroe.
Oh, I would love to get a photo of that, a proper
Okay,
photo.
well,
I
see
think
what I
that is
I'm not-
wonderful.
Hey,
Well,
I have a suggestion, Jim,
Mhm.
because I think Ben has to go. So, but you and Ben or Ed, I think you can swap a lot of photographs. And this is
He's Marilyn
terrific.
Monroe from the top
That's,
of. That's me.
No, show
Okay.
him on the big picture over there. No, here, put your finger there.
right. Okay,
That's
okay.
me.
So you were pretty much in line with my dad. My dad on the other side
Your
was
dad
like
was
the
on the
second
other
or
side
third.
of the car,
Yep.
and it was a full house in Ebbets Field.
Yeah.
And I think probably at least 23 of the spectators understood soccer. They were there. They were there
That's
to
only-
see Marilyn Monroe and raise money.
Yeah, and this is not related, but you know this general
Oh, yes.
Moshe
Moshe
Dayan.
Dayan, and that's me in the Israeli Army Soccer Championship. Here I'm 19 or 18.
Wow.
And you're getting what, an award?
Yeah, I'm getting the certificate for winning the Israeli Army Championship.
Oh, those are great memories.
So those are
And
the soccer
another one of
players.
my heroes. It was along with Abba Ban was Moshe Dayan.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Now you're back on, don't put your
Okay.
finger on there you go.
Okay. So I'm looking forward to looking into the folder.
Yes, definitely.
I'll see. I'll be honest with you. I have a lot of pictures in storage, and if I can get to the right box, I could make some photos of the copies of the team pictures and send it to you.
Oh, that would be really wonderful. You know, if your time, definitely your time in the US And yeah, and those pictures related would be fantastic. It's always great to go through those boxes, right, Dad?
I need to get to them. I have a lot of photos that I'd like to give my kids. So,
And if you have photos of Erno as well.
Erno, I don't have much of Erno. I really don't.
Okay.
My son will have more.
And I asked if Leslie had some, and they're all going to be non-soccer related. I don't think we have soccer photos. They're going to be when he was
Jim,
younger.
do you have any information about, I think his name was Kurt Lamb. He was the coach. That's the guy said he did not know anything about soccer.
I can take a look.
Have you ever heard his name?
No.
Oh, you did.
Coached the New York All-Stars.
No, but maybe Dad, you've talked about him in passing, surely.
Oh yeah, I'm sure I mentioned his name. He was like one of these scavenger fish. He was on the fringes, and he was picking up. He was there to get as much money as he could, legally. But that's why he was there.
Yeah, good description. Yeah. Yeah, anyhow.
Okay.
Great talking to all of you.
Yeah, what a fantastic hour that we've spent.
Are you living permanently in Paris?
Yes.
We have been, I was there in August.
And you know, Leslie
that's a shame.
and the family are going to be there in July for 5 days.
My daughter will be there in July.
Now, Ed?
We're all in Atlanta, Pat and I.
Oh, okay, you're in Atlanta.
Yeah, where are you?
I'm in New Jersey.
We have, so I was trying to tell this to Jim. We have some,
Ed was born in New Jersey.
Yeah, you know Bobby Ulmer and Jeffrey Ulmer, they're more your generation. They would talk about going to these games back in the day that Erno would organize. I thought they might have some stuff as well, but I'm not, you know, I can try to reach out to Jeffrey through Facebook. I tried to reach out through Debbie, you know, and Donna might have some stuff as well, just trying to get, you know, these.
No, Ed was born in New Jersey.
Mom side of the family.
Okay. Oh, those are.
They remember the games being organized and, you know, basically Erno putting together everything on a shoestring.
And I played a couple of years for the New Brunswick Hungarians. There was a team, the New Brunswick Hungarians, and there was 10 Hungarians and me. And I was a graduate student in Princeton, and it was 10 miles from New Brunswick, where all the Hungarians live. So I played soccer for them, and this was the end of my career. I played when I came to Atlanta, but it was, you know, very amateurish.
Yes, soccer, I don't believe, was very big in Atlanta. I remember
but when I came to Atlanta in '65, you had the Atlanta Chiefs, and they won the U.S. championship. And they had a famous coach, Woosnam.
I knew Phil.
He became commissioner, I think, of the American Soccer League.
Yeah, Phil.
I forget, Phil Woosnam.
Yeah.
And we were friends, and he wanted to sign me to play for the Chiefs. But I was in academia, and I didn't want to do, you know, any interference. But they had 18 people on contact, and when they wanted to have full scrimmage, he would call me, and I would come and practice with them. So they had 24 players.
Didn't they offer
22
you a contract?
players? Yeah.
Didn't they, when you were in your 30s, didn't the Chiefs offer you a contract and you thought about it for a second? I remember when you scrimmaged with them and the Chiefs offered you a contract, you were still in your 30s. You thought about it for a second. Yeah.
No, they offered me a contract. And the Falcons gave me a tryout for field goal kicker, but I never.
Really?
Yeah, this was a big. The Falcons was about '68, and there was a Greek player who was a sensation, premium, the first soccer style kicker. So I said, I saw it, I said, hell, I can kick also. So the first time I tried to kick a football, I kicked 50 yards. So
Is that right?
so I practiced for a few weeks, and I had a connection to the Falcons. And to give them the information, they invited me to summer camp to try out for the team, but I never went.
You know, I have to tell you the story. You remember Alex Karras?
Yeah, with the toe,
Actor
yeah.
after football.
Okay, it was a real character. So he's telling the story about playing in this game where it was in the heart of winter. The field was total mud. He said we slogged for 60 minutes. He said I had green stuff coming out my nose and my ears. He said I could barely move. He said we were tied, and he said a field goal would win the game. And they brought this Albanian kicker out on the field, and it's like a 25-yard chip shot. So he comes out in this pristine white uniform, all lovely, all right? It's never seen mud in its life. And he comes out and he does a chip shot, and nice, and it goes through the uprights. And he goes running around the field. Karras is describing this. He goes running around the field saying, hooray, hooray, I'm in the game. I kick a home run. I kick a home run. I win the game.
Wasn't Alex Karras, he had a problem with his foot and he had a special shoe?
No,
that's Jack Dempsey.
Who is that?
I think it was Dempsey was the name of the field goal.
Dempsey, yeah.
Yes, he had.
Alex Karras was a lineman. He was a big guy.
He had a club foot.
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, it was fun talking to you.
Yeah.
That was terrific. I thank you so much, Jim. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate the conversation. Very interesting.
And Jim, if we'll find stuff, I have your email address, so we'll send it to you.
Okay, let's keep in touch. And this has really been fantastic.
Okay.
Really great memories. Thank you.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Right. Great meeting you. All the best.
Yeah, same
Thank
to
you.
you.
Good luck. Yeah.
Bye-bye.